We are live.
Yay!
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. It's Amanda and Berta back with you today. To our late risers, good morning. To our West Coast, good morning. We're glad to be with you today as we announce and share with you the new NPM planning calendar. I know. I have to tell you, I have not been this excited since the convention.
I know, I agree. It was funny, Amanda and I were talking earlier this morning that we were having a Throwback Thursday. We both had our mugs. This morning we were ready at our early. You still have yours? Exactly,
Yeah,
very
I
good.
got it.
And just to actually have some fun new things to show you guys was really fun for us. So we're excited to bring this to you guys. So hopefully those of you who might be on the East Coast that are a little later riser or maybe needed a couple cups of coffee before you joined us, we're so happy you're here. And of course, our West Coast friends as well.
Yes.
It's always fun.
So as we start right now, a couple things. We'd love to know where you're tuning in from. So let us know in the chat box. We are live with you today. And then if you have any questions as we go along, put them in the chat box as well. We're going to do a little bit of Q&A at the end. As we go right now and walk you through the new planning calendar, Berta's going to be the MC, if you will, and I will be her Vanna White, if you will. So
until Amanda's dog Cooper can learn to hit the click things for me, then Amanda needs to stay involved. So we're very happy to have Amanda and Cooper with us.
I know. I've actually had people message me like as NPM saying, Amanda, we really enjoyed seeing your dog Cooper in the background for that last video. So I feel like Cooper's just a mainstay these days. He's napping behind me because like everyone else, it's 12 o'clock on the East Coast. He's had a long day already. He's had a long day of barking at the UPS man. Oh my gosh, it's been so long. So anyways, yes, he's joining us today as well. So Berta, let's get started.
Great. Excellent. So again, thank you guys for joining us. And I'm going to tell you that we have a lot of things to share with you today. It's going to move really fast. Don't worry. You will have as much time as you need to explore this site and do things. We're just trying to give you a down and dirty, quick overview so you can kind of see how things work. But don't fret. Trust me, you cannot break the internet. So it's going to be just fine. You're going to be able to click around and see what's going on. Because we do have so many things to share and so much technical information to share with you today, I'm going to read from my script. That's something we don't normally do, but I want to make sure I get this right. So we're going to start. The NPM planning calendar has long been a mainstay for our members, providing a needed resource to help making excellent musical choices for your parish family easy. As we continue to enhance our product line, NPM is delighted to announce a new relationship with Liturgy Help. For over 20 years, Liturgy Help has been assisting priests, teachers, catechists, musicians, and everyone involved in Catholic ministry to quickly and creatively prepare for liturgy and prayer. We are so excited to be working with them. We've been working on this for several months, and there are things about our site that aren't quite finished yet. We just didn't want to make you wait any longer, so we just decided we would do them in process together. As before, our calendar provides comprehensive hymn suggestions for each Sunday and special feast of the liturgical year. Our new version also provides suggestions for daily masses as well. New added benefit for those of you that provide music for daily mass or maybe for special liturgies or school masses. Here's an opportunity for you as well. Hymns are carefully selected from a database of over 10,000 liturgical songs according to lectionary and missal texts or the liturgical season or theme given for the particular day. We're melding our list of music along with the music that's coming to us from Liturgy Help, so you're getting an even greater resource. Okay, Amanda, you ready to share screen? And we're just going to walk you guys right through how you get on and how you use the source.
Yep, I think the best thing would be to start, honestly, first at npm.org. So that's where I'm going to start us right now. Okay, so can you see the NPM website?
Sure can.
Okay, great. So the next thing would be to hit the login button on the upper right-hand corner. You should see here that I'm already logged in, so it won't prompt me to log in. But if you have, if you have credentials that you haven't used yet, you may need to log in yourself. So this should be a pretty familiar screen to members. The planning calendar, the new one, will sit exactly where the old planning calendar was. So you should see that right here. It just has a little green new banner. And the new planning calendar is live now, so you can check it out after this call. But for now, I'm just going to give it a little click. And then that's where we will begin.
Ta-da!
Hold on, give a second. The drum, if we learned at the 9 a.m., I'm not good with drum rolls. So imagine a drum roll sound, and here we go. Take it away, Berta.
Excellent. So as you can see, this is a very colorful, useful tool. There's a lot of information, so take a few minutes to kind of absorb it. To use this calendar, you're going to select the week you would like to begin planning from the calendar on the left side of the page. You'll see that left-hand drop-down calendar. Today, we're going to start with October 25th, this Sunday, the 30th Sunday in Ordinary Time. Once you're there, you will want to, Amanda, do you want to talk about clipboard first? Let's do that because we did that out of order last time.
Yeah, absolutely. So before you even pick any music, you need to know, how do I organize it? How do I organize my choices? So if you're familiar with Fourscore, if you're a tablet or iPad user, or you use the GIA hymnal app, you're familiar with an idea of almost like a playlist for your music as you plan. Liturgy Helps NPM Planning Calendar provides that up here at the top where it says clipboard. Okay, so this clipboard is where you're going to keep all of your music as you plan. You can create as many as you like. Today, you see I already have one from this morning, but we're going to start from the beginning. So you click clipboard and select add new. I'm going to select it. I will call it October 25th, 2020, 30th OTA. Okay. And then I hit save changes. And so now you'll see that it defaults to this new clipboard. You can always change it to a different clipboard. You can favorite a clipboard for easier access, but for now, we are just going to sit on this active clipboard. And from here, you will see that as we plan, it's very easy to add music to this clipboard so that you can always have everything in a very neat and organized place.
Great. In a future how-to video, Amanda and I will show you how you can also archive those lists on your profile on your admin site. But for today, we just don't want to, again, we have so much to cover. So this at least gives you a way to start with your clipboard. So when you get to your page, this page for the 25th of October, you'll find a synopsis for the scriptures for each week. You'll see those right there on the left-hand side, as well as hymns specific to each reading and the overarching focus for the liturgy. For our demonstration today, let's start at the general hymns for this week. So Amanda's going to click on the general hymns tab. Excellent. Now you'll notice at the top of this page, something brand new to our planning calendar are these filters. And the filters allow you to provide information about the music's melody and rhythm, the textual themes of the lyrics, specific composers, and much more. But I'll tell you, for me, one of the most exciting things is that the hymn suggestions can also be filtered by hymnal, which is great. So today, Amanda, let's pick our hymnals and let's pick Breaking Bread 2020.
Okay.
And let's pick Gather 3. Just in case you guys have more than one hymnal that you work with. If you don't want to use this filter, you don't have to, but these will definitely make sure that the things that are in your list are in those two locations. From recent surveys, you know that every effort is being made to include every hymnal for which we have data. Of course, its success is dependent on the accuracy of that data that's provided to us. If you see a mistake somewhere along the planning calendar, please let us know and we will correct it. Also, if there is a hymnal you use frequently that is not listed, let us know that too. If we can get the data, we'll add it also. All right, I'm ready to make some musical choices. So let's go back to that general hymns tab, which I think we're still in, right? Is that down there in our scroll down? Perfect, perfect. If I was looking for something specific to a reading, I could actually click on the reading for that day. For instance, let's look at the gospel. That's a good place to start. And you'll see if you scroll down in this list, there are 3 hymns that match that are in my hymnals that would go with this. Now, let me
I
show
want to
you
be
though.
clear really quickly, Berta, just so everyone knows. The filter that you apply on the hymnals will need to be reinstated every time you go to each different page. So these may or may not be in Breaking Bread. Let's find out. Breaking Bread, Gather 3. Okay, so of those, yes, Joyful, Joyful is in both Breaking Bread
Both.
and Gather 3. Yes, so just so everyone knows, you need to add that filter every time you go to a different page here.
Excellent. Now, Amanda, let's show them the first reading page.
Okay.
Because I just want to clarify for you. Sometimes, as you guys know, there are readings that don't have hymns related with them. So if there is not a hymn specific to this reading, there will not be any hymns that show up on this page. And that's why. So when you go to that reading, don't think that something was missed. It's just that there isn't in our resources a hymn that matches this text from Exodus. So let's go back to general hymns. So my parish is providing an online resource through One License for our live stream masses. And like many of you, we sadly have no assembly singing on Sunday in the church right now. So I'm going to look for hymns that could be included in my One License agreement. Amanda, you want to give us a little overview of this?
Yes, yes. So let's just take, since it's right here, let's just take A Mighty Fortress is Our God as an example. Okay, so if I want to check that A Mighty Fortress is Our God is included in my One License account, I can click the plus button here, which provides a lot of information. And then I can go down. Now, I use Gather 3 at my parish, so I'm going to use this as an example. So I find Gather 3. I notice that it gives me the number as 687. That's great. But then I go over here to One License. And what this does is this will direct me exactly to my One License account. It will have searched A Mighty Fortress is Our God, Gather 3rd edition, hymn number 687. And it shows me that, like we all know with One License, this particular hymn is available for a PDF if I just want to do lyrics, and it allows me to report right here. Now, please note that at this point, as you plan using the NPM planning calendar, it does not automatically report your copyright licensing through One License. That's something we're working on for sure, and we would want to show you in the future. But right now, if you are still using One License, make sure that you click as you select and plan and just go to One License and make sure that you are reporting. And then this will also provide any correlating documents that you can use for any printed or electronic worship aids.
Great, great. Thanks, Amanda. So now while we're here and we have A Mighty Fortress is Our God, let's add that. Let's use it as a gathering song this week. So we're going to click on the Add to Clipboard tab, and that's going to put it on our notebook, our piece of paper that we're going to use as we're planning. So let's go ahead and add 3 additional hymns to it so we get all of our hymns. I'm thinking this week I would use At the Table of the World for communion. So I'm going to do these alphabetically just for ease. We're going to click that, add it to the clipboard.
I like that it flies across my screen, by the way.
I know, I love that. I love that. Let's also add Christ Be Our Light. We'll use that for our closing song. Again, we're going to add that to our clipboard. Perfect. And then let's add God is here as we his people. We'll use that for preparation of the gifts.
Okay.
Perfect. So now we have our 4 hymns that we need for this weekend. Let's go back and go to the Psalm Responsorial Psalm tab. And you can see that we have a drop down here that allows us to choose from the Psalm of the day or a common Psalm for the season. So let's click on Psalm of the Day. And then I think I would like to use the Michel Guillemot setting of Psalm 18. So we're just going to add that to our clipboard as well. And I'm done for the 30th Sunday in Ordinary Time, the things that I'm going to grab from this. Now, Amanda, let's show them how we manage that clipboard tab and then how we can download that as a Word file.
Okay, great. So again, we're going to go back here to the clipboard area. I'm going to hit the drop down and see that the active clipboard is what I started earlier. And I'm going to click that, and it should show me everything that we just added to the clipboard. Now, I'm a little OCD, and I want to make sure that it's in the right order. And I noticed that the psalm was picked last, so the psalm is at the bottom of the list. That's going to bother me. So I use these little arrows that are to the right of every hymn. Notice that most of them have an up or a down button. That shows you that you can move them up or down in the order in which they are planned or arranged on the piece of paper or the document. So I'm just going to continue to click this up button and move that psalm up so that it's in the appropriate place. Okay. All right, that looks better. Okay, so at this point then, I think it's good to go. I'd like to download it as a document and share it with my music ministry for the week. What you can do is you can go over to this button right here that says download Word file. And when you click it, it actually will download everything here as a Word document. So if I click it, it did the same thing this morning too.
But we know that this is just a glitch. It's not really real. This is just Amanda.
It's okay. I think it's me. I actually think I might have I think it's my computer. But either way, if you click that button, I did it again and it worked. Yes. I don't know if, yes. Okay. You can't, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see it at the bottom of my screen?
We can. Yes.
Yeah. So it has now downloaded as a Word document. So at that point, let's say you wanted to create more information on a clipboard. You could always make this instead of, 30th OTA, you could make this a couple weeks. You could do all of Advent on one. You could kind of work around with it. But at the very least, you have it as a Word document in the order in which you created on the planning calendar.
Exactly. And then once that Word document has been downloaded, you can manipulate that and create it anywhere you want. We're working on some templates that are going to make that a little bit easier for you. But again, we didn't want to make you wait for this resource until that was completed. So don't worry, we'll be letting you know when that becomes available. Now, don't get overwhelmed. I know that for many of us, thinking about adding things to a clipboard or having to download or manipulate those kind of files seems overwhelming. So what you can do instead is you can go old school, just like you did with our planning calendar in the past, and keep a pad of paper next to you and your pen and write down the titles that you're going to be using, or keep your Word document in another application if you want to just be filling that in directly. You don't have to download that to the clipboard. That's just an added benefit. So again, don't get scared or overwhelmed by that if that seems like just too many steps for you in the beginning. Hopefully that will help things be a little smoother. All right, Amanda, so we're finished with the 25th Sunday, the October 25th. I'm done with the 25th Sunday, October 25th. Let's go back and look at that. And so now we can see how we would move to the next week. So we're going to go back to that 25th.
And so just so everyone knows what I just did, over here on the left-hand side, there's always going to be a liturgical calendar that you can click. And notice that also they're arranged with liturgical color. So I just clicked this upcoming Sunday to get back to where we were.
And then if you look at the top of the screen, you'll see previous Sunday, previous day. Remember that we do have daily options here. Next day or next Sunday. So I'm going to work on the next Sunday. So let's go ahead and click next Sunday, and it should take us right to October 1st. November 1st. Gosh, I do not want to repeat any month of this year. So let's make sure we're moving to November, please. Again, we just do the exact same thing and be planning forward, just doing exactly what we just did. So this is a great, easy resource. I want to make sure that you guys see something that's new to us that Liturgy Help has been able to help provide us, which is dedicated children's music for Children's Liturgy of the Word. So Amanda, can you scroll down to Masses with Children? Again, it's going to be by hymns, responsorial psalm, and gospel acclamations. So if you're tasked with either planning children's masses during the week, or you're trying to, maybe during this time of COVID, you're presenting song lists or other things that parents might be using with their kids while they're home during the week, or if they're doing prayer services together as a family, here's a great resource that's going to help you with that. Amanda, can you please show our friends at home how they would be able to access actual recordings or to hear a cut of something that they might have picked.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's go to General Hymns for All Saints Day. And then from here, it should look pretty similar to what we saw on the previous week. This should be general hymns for the Solemnity of All Saints. But what you'll find here is over on the right-hand side, I had a button that allowed us to add to the clipboard, right? Well, over here, there are a couple of other buttons, and I'm actually going to go to All That Is Hidden by Bernadette Farrell. I think that's a good example. There are a couple of additional options here in terms of listening and getting to know the music a little bit more. So first and foremost, if you see a triangle facing to the right, next to any song, there will be actually a small clip that will be of that song. So you can listen to make sure that you know that it's the right setting of something that you were hoping for. If you use things like Spotify or Apple Music, we go one step further. I would encourage you to click the plus button here, and you should see on top of lots of additional music, the scripture that it's based on, it actually provides down here Spotify, which can also be here, or Apple Music if it's available on Apple Music. So here's As Grains of Wheat. Same thing here. If you own Apple Music or you pay for Apple Music as a streaming service, you'll be able to sign in and you can hear that song. Now, let's say you don't have Spotify or Apple Music. You can still hear a 30-second clip of these songs. So don't feel like you have to go and purchase and pay for Spotify or Apple Music in order to take advantage of this. But if you do have one, they are built in. Now, let's just take a minute here, actually, Berta, and I'm glad that I'm scrolling this way. This particular song has like a gold star. What does that mean?
So this is an added feature that comes to us from Liturgy Help. And the liturgists have actually looked and they've gone through our musical choices and they're looking at either text or theological ideas that they feel are best represented in these particular pieces of music. That does not mean that the text matches the scripture exactly, but they feel that these are ones that are very, very closely related to the scriptures that we would be having for that week. So they've made notation for that for us. So if you want to have an easy way to start looking at something, you maybe want to add a new song to your repertoire. These might be some things as you're looking forward to. You might say, oh gosh, that's really theologically aligned. I want to make sure that we add this to our repertoire. So it's a great resource again, and gives us a little more insight to things that we may or may not have time to spend looking into.
Right.
Great.
All right.
Okay,
Is there
Amanda,
anything else on All Saints?
I don't think so. I feel quite certain. Hopefully nobody's hair is standing on end yet, or they're feeling completely put off by this whole process. I'm sure we have some questions and we'd love to see if we can answer them for you guys.
We do. Yeah. We have a follow-up question actually that was asked at the 9 a.m. early East Coast session that I want to ask now too. Someone asked if there will be any initiative to include any bilingual or Spanish hymnals in the planning calendar.
Yes. Not only is there an initiative for that, we are currently working on getting the Flori Cantos numbers, hymn numbers, and some of our other Spanish hymnals included, but there will also be the ability to change those pages to Spanish. So you will actually be able to read all the text. Everything that you see in English now will be translated to Spanish. So you'll be able to see that. That's underway, and I really don't think it's going to take very long. I don't want to guarantee by the end of the calendar year, but I'm feeling pretty good that that's probably what's going to happen.
Good. All right, so we have a couple questions coming in here. If you have selected your hymnals for general music, do you have to do it for every time you move to a new date? So I want to clear this up a little bit. So whenever by the way, there's a conversation going on right now regarding making sure that your hymnal stays in that filter. We want you to know that we see that. I see the conversation happening, and we'll address that just a little bit more in just a second. But I want to make sure that people understand what we mean whenever we say when you select your hymnals for general use. What you do is, the idea is that you would select your hymnal. Let me actually share my screen again to show you. Not just for general hymns. There are other areas here as well. Seasonal hymns and responsorial psalms, all of which that you can make sure that your hymnal is the driving filter, if you will, so that you're picking music that is from your hymnal. So I do see a conversation that's going right now about kind of permanently setting your hymnal as your filter. That's a really great question. And
I
actually,
actually think we
yeah,
can do that, Amanda.
yeah.
So if you now I'm going to tell you, I have not spent enough time with this. We just went live with this whole program last night at 10 p.m. That was when we think we got the last major glitch. So I'll walk you through this, but if I make a mistake, just forgive me. Can you, Amanda, underneath the calendar, can you hit the admin tab? I wish Patrick were on here to walk me through this too, because
I
he's much
know.
better. And click profile.
Well, he's 15 hours ahead of us, so it's like 3:30 in the
Exactly.
morning for
So
him.
let's hope he's
So
sleeping.
yeah, I hope he's sleeping.
Me too. So if you look at, I believe under that profile, go to perhaps music preferences. Do you see under the profile tab?
Mm-hmm.
There should be a spot that pops up here that says hymnals, and you can actually
There
set
we go.
your hymnals to be the hymnals that you use. So you can unclick ones that you don't use, and that should stay specific to your profile. So that's very
Good.
helpful.
You would hit save.
Yes.
I do see someone saying that they tried to do it and it didn't work.
Okay.
That in that case does sound like a glitch, which actually is a great segue for one of the last things I want to mention is, let's say you need help with this resource. Let's say you identify a glitch. We're glad to share that there is a help button on the lower right-hand side as you plan. And this connects you with liturgy help. And so there are people who will be ready and willing to help with glitches exactly like this.
Exactly. And what we've been told is that they expect to have less than a 24-hour turnaround. I think the fact that they're in Australia and we're in the US is to our advantage, because normally as we're getting ready to go to sleep or in the afternoon, they're just getting up for the day. So I have always found that that turnaround time is much less. Again, we are working on getting some of those things ironed out, and we so appreciate your patience, because, you know, technology is wonderful, except when it isn't. And we've certainly learned over the last few months that we all have learned so much more about technology and how to manage things. And we want to make sure that everything works well. Your patience is greatly appreciated. As I said, we didn't want to make you wait any longer for this. So we're rolling it out. If you have a question or a problem, hit that help button, and we'll be also managing things along the way too that we've found. I know that that hymnal setting will work. We made some changes yesterday to some other things in the coding, so we will be working on getting that fixed.
I have a follow-up question too about that. Someone asked, I'm going back to my profile again. So I clicked admin and profile, and I'm going back to that music preferences area. And someone said, if you click this hymns button or the psalm collections button or whatnot, does it deselect everything? So what you want to do is, if let's say you don't want to deselect and unclick like 70 hymnals, what you can do is you can click this, and then if you click it again, it's kind of like if you do bold or underlined on Word. Bam, they're all gone, and you have a blank slate, and then you can choose what you want and then select save.
Perfect.
Okay. Here's another question. Does the list include missalettes as well as hymnals?
So if you see them, look on the list. Again, you know, this week we sent out a survey asking you guys for input for the hymnals that you wanted, because we knew we had a tremendous number of hymnals on our list from before, and many of them were not being used. So we wanted to make sure that we had all the things that you were using. If you don't see something that you normally use, let us know. We did actually just talk, Patrick and I, yesterday, specifically about the OCP missalette that does go along with breaking bread. And he was asking about the necessity of that, knowing that many people use breaking bread. I did mention to him that I thought it would be great if we could add those, if we have data for those missalettes. So I know that that is on their radar. Again, if there's something that you're not seeing, feel free to hit that help button, leave a little note for them, letting them know that you're looking for a hymnal that doesn't exist or isn't on our current list. And we'll do the research to see if we can get the data. That involves the publisher sharing that with us. So just know that we will take the next steps to make sure that we can get that information if it's available.
Right. Now, if you're watching this and you decided to maybe have your membership lapse for whatever reason that is, but you're watching this and you're really liking the planning calendar, I encourage you to renew your membership. It's very easy to do. Bert and I are very proud of the planning calendar, and we really think that even if you didn't do anything else with NPM, I think it would be worth the cost of membership, to be honest with you. So, please feel free to go to npm.org. If you need to renew, if you need help renewing, you're not sure how to do it, you can always contact any of us on the NPM staff. And then lastly, I know that this was a lot of information in just about a half hour here. And so this will be available for replay. If you'd like to watch it, pause, make sure you follow along. We will be offering additional tutorials in the coming weeks and additional information. But the best thing to do if you have the time today is for you to log on and try it yourself, because it's very different for us to show you when you can go and set it for your own custom needs and start to use it for what it really was meant for. So we encourage you, it's live. Log in using your member credentials, using the login button on the upper right-hand corner of npm.org, and go to planning. Happy planning today.
Exactly. Now, one other thing that we want to make sure that we share with you, we know that in the last bit of time, we've had a hard time keeping up with giving information to you guys in a timely manner. We know we're encouraging you to plan ahead. And many of us have had weird planning situations this year with COVID and with other things that have just happened and really impacted our worship experience. We are dedicated with Liturgy Help currently to be 3 seasons ahead. So right now you'll notice that you can access Advent, Christmas, and Winter Ordinary Time. Our goal is to be able to get 6 months ahead in our planning. And now that we've worked out some of these glitches and we've got this up and running and we've been able to roll it out to you guys, we're going to be able to meet that much quicker. We know that you're already starting to look at Lent. We're aware, and we're so proud of you for doing it. And God bless you as you're trying to navigate all these COVID waters and all the other things that are happening. So we're working on it. Amanda and I are going to stay on top of it. And as we find things that we can do and share with you guys, we're going to be right back here and share them with you. So let us know how you feel about it. Let us know how you feel this is working. Positive comments are always appreciated, but we certainly are happy to hear if there are any problems or troubles that we can help solve as well.
Well, I think that's all I have. It looks like we have no additional questions. Again, feel free to contact the help button if you have any, or contact us. But at this point, we thank you for your time today. For those of you who are on the West Coast, have a great morning. We just did it. It was great. We hope you have the same experience. And feel free to continue to watch your email and communication from NPM so that we can continue to communicate when we have updates and other things that we can be of service to you.
Great. Thanks, Amanda, for your help today. I see Cooper has left us, but happy Cooper, wherever you are.
I know my dog left. And did you know, I don't know if anyone noticed, but like he was standing by the door and then the camera shot to you and then he was gone.
It's magic.
He opens the door. It's amazing. I definitely did not text my husband and ask him to let the dog out. Definitely didn't.
Thank you guys again. Have a great day. We hope you love the calendar.
Thank you, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.